Hello, welcome to the Invest in Value channel. I am Victor, and in this video, I'm going to look at the media and entertainment industry to see if it's an industry that is right for looking for some good investments to outperform the S&P index this year. This industry has been underperforming the S&P index. Investors need to pick winners and losers in a space that has changed tremendously over the last 20 years and is changing, year to year, with some companies getting stronger and some companies getting weaker to the point where they probably won't exist in the future. And you really need to be willing to look at long-term value versus a quick, appreciation of your stock. I mean, we're in a stock market now. It's April 24th, 2022. The S&P is down 11%. So there are not a lot of quick, appreciating stocks out there that I know of. Maybe you know a lot more than I do. So everything here in this industry needs to be long-term minded. Before I jump into additional analysis, please do me a favor and like my video, consider subscribing to my channel and hit that bell to be notified when I release new videos. Now, let me tell you more about this industry. So something that's been happening really over the last 15 years is that cable providers are seeing very little growth in their revenues. Although they're a big market, people still have cable service. They may subscribe to the cable service and stream it. I know that was the case in one of our cabins up in the mountains. We still had the cable service and they allowed us to stream, which was interesting. As opposed to the media and entertainment industry as a whole is growing. So the growth is really happening in the areas that are innovative, video streaming. Those types of things are where the growth is happening as opposed to the traditional legacy business. Additionally, if you look at where advertising dollars are going, they're going toward digital ad spend. It's been growing and that has been getting a greater portion of it. So it's going to the likes of, YouTube, Google, Facebook. It's going to Amazon, as believe it or not, they have a huge ad business. And companies like Netflix, I believe they're going to start a service where they're going to start putting ads in a free service of their streaming service, as well as other sources that have a component of advertising when they show their movies or their television programs via stream. So that space is really profitable for this industry as well. The other piece that I'll put out there is, video, movies, and home shows. It's a very affordable entertainment. You get a lot of value, or I should say it's a very affordable way to enjoy something. If you have a movie, you can stream it at home, grab some popcorn, your family can watch it, and it's a very affordable way to get some entertainment in your home, as opposed to going to Disneyland, which is, a couple $100 for a family at least. So it's a very affordable item that I believe is recession proof. As we hit this recession, video spending isn't going to go down. As a matter of fact, it may go up because people are going to have to look for ways to affordably, have fun. As a whole, this industry, and this is the best graph I could get, it's for the whole communication services sector, which includes media and entertainment, as well as, cable providers and so forth. It is down 22.81%, and that's as of, I believe, the 21st is their data. If you add the 22nd, I'm sure it's even worse because the S&P is down 11%, and this is showing that it's down at 10%. So, but nonetheless, this industry, this whole sector is underperforming the S&P index. Now, bad news to some is good news to others. And me, I like to look for really good companies that are undervalued and just have, there's been a lot of bad news in their industry, but I believe in their businesses that, their businesses are going to grow. Their businesses are going to be worth a lot more money. So I have looked for companies in this sector as somewhat of a contrarian, looking for long-term value in this particular industry. As a whole, the things that I like about this industry is they're growing. If you look at video streaming, anything, that is digital is growing quite a bit. And the return on equity is really high because it's not like you have to build a factory and start, putting so much money into your production line to produce product. This particular industry, once you have the content, streaming it is not that expensive, and the return on investment is also good for the industry. So those are really nice things to see in this industry, things that I like. Now, Warren Buffett is quoted, and I love this quote: "Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful." And I believe, a lot of investors have shied away from this industry. They just don't like it. They think that it's just going to, go away. And I don't believe that. There's a lot of bad news out there. I think Netflix took a lot of attention this past week. Bill Ackman lost $400 million on Netflix. He came in about 3 months ago, kind of riding a white horse and kind of coming in to partner with Netflix. It was kind of a big PR move. And then the stock, after their earnings release, went down, and Ackman leaving actually made it worse. I think the stock price went down severely as a result of that. And Netflix, as a result, is down 63.92 year to date. Walt Disney's down 24.55%, Roku 58.36%, just to show you an example of how bad some of these companies have been punished recently. And the S&P is down about 11%. I believe that there's a lot of fear in the market, and I think there's probably some really good buys in this space. It's going to take a while for them to bounce back, but I think you can find some good investments within media and entertainment. Just to stimulate some ideas, here's some companies: Comcast, Charter, Netflix, Vivendi, Viacom, which is now Paramount Plus. And these companies are listed. These are the biggest, media and entertainment companies. Of course, do your homework, do your due diligence before you invest in any of them. There's also ETFs that you can trade on if you feel like, hey, this is going to be an industry that's going to be worth a lot more than it's currently traded at. And here's a list that Fidelity provides. Again, please do your homework on them and make your investment decisions wisely. The three companies that I've invested in this sector are Netflix, Paramount, and Warner Brothers Discovery. And I'm going to start at the bottom and work upwards because that's where I have most of my money. I really like Discovery. They're a big cash producing company. They have a lot of things that I look for. And the combination with Warner Brothers makes them really interesting. That's where I have the biggest position, I should say. And I had been in this Discovery for, let's call it 9 months, 10 months to this point. And then the Warner Brothers announcement came up 6 months ago, 7 months ago, and then it just combined with Discovery. I really like that company. I think it has a lot of potential, along with a lot of cash flow. So I think as we see their earnings call coming up, I believe it's coming up in a week and a half. It'll be interesting to see how much free cash they produce, how much growth they're showing. And I think that could really take off. That stock price could really take off. Paramount is a real proven commodity. It pays a dividend. It's also providing a lot of free cash flow. It is also a very established brand. It was probably late to the game on video streaming, but now that it's there, it has a business. It has a very productive and successful studio. So Paramount Plus is also a company I invest in. And I have the second most money on Paramount. Very recently, as of Thursday of last week, I bought into Netflix. The plunge of their stock price came down severely. And I believe now Netflix is discounted. Therefore, I'm going to buy the #1 video streaming company on the planet, the company who really created this space. They have the best ideas. They have the best management team in the space. I bought more shares on Friday, and I will continue to buy shares in Netflix, probably taking my capital and focusing on building a Netflix position, since I already have a very big position in WBD. I have an average position in Para, and I want to put my capital into Netflix going forward. So hopefully that gave you some ideas of this particular industry. Again, it's a long-term, vision of where these companies are going to be. 2022, it's not fun out there. S&P index is down 11%. I don't see any good news coming on the horizon. And I think, for me, I'm looking at, hey, how can I best navigate my investments for the next 5 to 10 years And this particular industry provides a lot of opportunities for me to put money into companies I really believe in, and again, are going to be worth a lot more money in 5 to 10 years. Thanks so much for watching my video, and please provide comments on my video. Like my video if you wouldn't mind. Consider subscribing to my channel and click that bell to be notified when I release a new video. Good luck investing in 2022.